It's a little bit happy. Um, okay, I should just use oh yeah, I should just use vval. I should use vval for this. I should use vval for the same thing, because vval is a number anywhere from like 16 to 100-ish. I think 98 actually. It's anywhere from like 16 to 98, which is a weird range, but like that's just how it worked out. Um, yeah. So oh, do we have any wait a second. Why do we calculate vval? Oh. Yeah. I know I was going to say like why do we calculate it inside this loop? Why don't we just calculate it once outside the loop? But that's because vval. Okay, so actually part of vval we should be calculating outside yeah, this part like this pow volume in it so let's say so yeah, let's say vval base equals this here, because this doesn't change. This like we calculated brevity up here, and we might loop over this multiple times, but first part of the term doesn't actually change. So yeah, so you know, inherently there's no reason to be recalculating that. But then also we want to use this value for something else. Wait, what just happened? Oh, I accidentally selected the whole line and started typing over it. But yeah, so now we'll use vval base here. This part we do recalculate because this is based on v data index 0. And v data index 0 is calculated based on v key, which is what we're iterating over. So that's not going to get mashed in, or like this we do have to recalculate inside the loop. But now we have vval base and sorry. So voice time. Yeah. There's a mechanism in place where players can't be verbose. Excuse me. Players can't like spam the voice system. There's a hard limit on how much vocalization any one player can do. Um, so we need to do some of this calculation. We need to move some of this now that we're using vval base for other things, and we're going to be using brevity for other things. We'll need to move some of this outside of this condition, because like we'll only do the voice the rest, like a lot of this voice stuff we'll only do in the case of like of the player dictionary, blah blah. But so voice TS. So it's basically just the brevity thing. So like brevity equals I wonder if I want to change how we calculate brevity. Nah, I guess this is fine. Well, so I was just thinking, like, the way it works currently, like, if you participate in a multi-event, it will want you, like, in order to really, like, amp up your brevity, it will want you to, be verbose for each of your action tags. But you know what? Now that I think about it, like, brevity hardlines at 0. Like, you can't have negative brevity, so it's actually not a it's not actually an especially high bar. Now that I think about it, it's like I think act character count at 13 just means that why is act char why, why do we define act character count here? Act character count doesn't change. So we should really be wait, why is it 0 here? That's false. It's supposed to be 13 everywhere. Oh, no. Wait. No. I know why it's different. Yeah, no. 13 is not no, what's the number that I was thinking of? 30. 30? Wait, what? No, no, no. Act character count plus 10 times... Wait a sec. 10. 10 is the number I was thinking of. Okay, and 10 is just plugged in here as a literal. And I guess I don't need... Okay, no, no, no. Right, no, no, sorry. So I was thinking... Okay, so 10... Okay, okay. This 10 means that for each action string... for each action tag or voice tag included in your text, in order to hit maximum verbosity, minimum brevity, you have to at least have 10 characters accompanying each of your action tags. So that's not actually a very high bar. I set it intentionally very low because, like, there are validly short sentences. Like, you can count as, like, verbose if you say, like, I eat a hashtag potato or something like that. Because, like, I eat a... I guess that's less than 10 characters. But, it's close, right? So, like, I eat a potato. If the hashtag was potato, I eat a potato is close. It'd get you, like, half credit, maybe. But then if you said, like, I devour an entire potato or something like that, that's going to hit your maximum velocity. That's actually going to be, like, superfluous. You know, it's going to be, like, more than you need to, because you only need those extra 10 characters. Right. So sorry, long story short. So even for a multi-event, it's not going to be that difficult to hit maximum verbiage. Okay, so, yeah, I guess I do have to move, like, a lot of this out. I have to do the, so the act character count, this whole loopy thing, and then this. I need to move all this out, and then also the vval base, but I don't need to do the keys process. So let's cut this, put it here, unindent this, cut this, put it here, unindent this. Okay. I think this is good. Is there any conditional we want to put around this, or do we just literally process this literally every time? I mean, I guess we could say, I guess we only really have to do this if the length of act search is greater than 0. So we could actually put it up here. Because, like, if there is no... Oh, furthermore... Oh, no, no. I was going to say, furthermore, we only have to do it if an event is on. So we could put it, like, together a weird complex conditional where it's like if so we could use, like, this conditional. We could say, like, if this is true, or if an event is on and act search is, I don't know. Yeah, why not? I mean, because, like, there's no point in recalculating this stuff if it is, like, literally superfluous. So, like, I guess the conditional would be, like, if this or event on and act, and the length of act search is greater than 0. Oh, you know what? We only have to do this if the length of act search is greater than 0. Right? Because, oh, I guess we've actually already parceled out voice keys. So we could even be more specific. We could, Oh no, so we could change this conditional. Right. So wait, so if the length of voice keys is greater than 0 and oh, I didn't need to get rid of that other conditional. The only times we need to be doing this, I'm just like, I don't know, it's like a little mathy, so I don't want to do it like so unnecessarily often. So then like this part, I guess I don't really need to put in the like if length of voice key is greater than 0 business because I mean this is a loop that if voice keys is 0. Oh, whoa. Oh, but the voice time thing? Oh, yeah, no, again. I don't know. It doesn't really hurt either way. Maybe I'll just do it for consistency. Because it's a little silly to do that extra math. Oh. Nah, yeah, whatever. This is fine. Okay. It's fine either way. So, cool. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the event. I would have helped out with that, Sato. I'm sorry. I failed you. Alright, yep, cool. Alright, so, long story short, or like, you know, as a result of all of those things, oh yeah, so now I can do the, oh wait, so I put in this conditional, but I didn't put the colon at the end, and I didn't indent the contents. Oops, not indent. Right, okay, so I can do the brevity thing in here. Oh, yeah, so no, I do the brevity thing in here if this condition is met. At this point I feel like there's probably a better way to structure this stuff, but for now I'm just gonna put it in this conditional again. So yeah, in the case that like we got in here because event on and length of act search is greater than 0, this is when we do the brevity stuff. So we'll say wait, is this the right place to be doing this? Where do we do player take action? Probably above this part. We probably did it already by this point. Player. Where's player take action? It's got to be right around here somewhere. Player take action. Here it is. Yeah, so we've done it already, right? This is before. Yeah, this is way before. Alright, so player take action. What if we, wait, where do we determine, like, act search? Oh. Huh. I was just thinking, like, if we did this in advance, then, like, we could pass brevity or vval base. We could pass vval base in as a term for player take action, as like an extra argument, and then we could just handle this stuff inside player take action, because it's player take action is really what we're like, is when we're wanting this to happen. So the awkward thing is that we wouldn't be able to run this conditional because we don't know, we haven't populated, like if we put it up there, we wouldn't have, like voice keys doesn't get parceled out until after player take action, and so we'd have to be doing it like somewhat, we'd be doing it redundantly sometimes. This is fine. If event on and the length of act search is greater than 0, Oh, wait a second. No, it's not if the length of act search is greater than 0. Excuse me. If it's the length of act search minus the length of voice keys is greater than 0. And actually, we want to do this in both cases. Right, because if players like voice something during an event, that doesn't credit towards their verbosity. Again, we're only going to be tracking verbosity. Like, for the purposes of this system, we're only tracking verbosity as pertinent to events. Sorry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to turn off the camera for just 1 second. Sorry, just 1 second. I'm still here. I'm just being distracted for just 1 moment. Sorry. We will resume our regularly scheduled programming in just 1 moment. Okay. Sorry for the delay. I'm an alien, and I had to like unzip my human suit for a second because it was like chafing. Oh shoot! I wasn't supposed to say that. Okay. So yes. If event on and action search. I guess technically, because I'm running this conditional, I don't actually have to. I don't have to check if the event is on, because this conditional can only occur in the case that an event is on. Right? Is that true? Oh, actually, wait, hold on. How am I setting up voice keys? Am I filtering voice keys based on the? Yeah. Voice keys are anything that is on the action. Any action search that's not an action for the event. I was just checking, like, we do filter later on for invalid. Oh, thank you, HNX. Sorry, I wasn't paying close attention to chat, but thank you. Yeah, so there's such thing as like banned voice things, but like we filter those out later. So so the very simple math that we're doing here about the length of back search minus the length of voice keys will tell us exactly what we're looking for this scenario. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I don't have to check if event is on. Not that that's a very difficult check. This is literally just like a integer, which we're treating as a Boolean here. I'm just gonna say, just for giggles, I'm just gonna say like, I'll say like, act count, equals the length of, act search, minus the, length of, voice keys, just for giggles. And then, so instead of doing like this event on business and all that stuff, we'll just say if act count is greater than 0. Not a big difference. Okay, and so what do we do in this case? Yeah, like I was saying before, we just, oh. Yeah, right. So we need to, okay, yeah. I was just gonna say we need to make sure that we're resetting. So yeah, so it's gonna be like, player dictionary index name dot, what did we call it? Like, round verbosity, plus equals, vval base, and player dictionary player dictionary round verbalization count plus equals 1. Yeah, we just so the other thing that we need to do though is we need to make sure that this is getting reset after each round, and I think we'll reset it when we calculate verbosity. Yeah. Because the alternative would be to like do it like try and manage it like when the player begins participating in the event, but that doesn't feel like the right time to do it. Sorry, this is like nowhere. This is like not here, not there, not anywhere. I just now noticed that I don't like how much the how vertically the little blackbird translates when flapping its wings. That art has not changed literally in months. I just now noticed it, and so as is my way, I'm going to get supremely distracted just fixing this real quick. Actually, I didn't need to open so many. So it's just this tiny little blackbird, and it just moves too high up or too low down, depending on how you think of it. So image canvas size, let's just crunk it up by like so instead of a height of 17 pixels, let's just go to like 23 pixels. That's probably too much. Let's clamp it to the top. And then, because I do want the I want the bird to like move up and down a little bit as it's flapping, but it looked like a fixed point in space, just because like the wings and like the body like offset like almost perfectly, so like it didn't feel, I don't know. Well, you guys can see it too. It's right on screen there. Well, it just went off screen, but oh no, there's another one on screen. It's just like too much. Just too muchery. Sorry. Okay, yeah. What did we do? 23 for the canvas size. Height. So right. So this is fine. Let's shift this down. Shift it down, I say. Why are you not shifting? I have the shifty shift tool. I'm hitting down. There it goes. Alright, so that's not enough anymore. Yeah, I feel like this is probably like more like I did exaggerate it a little bit intentionally, so like maybe this is fine. We'll try this. So I actually only moved it down by like 2 pixels or something. So technically I could like crunk off these lower pixels. I'm just gonna leave it there because I don't care. I do not care. So yeah, the thing that we have to change though is so for one thing, there are 4 copies of this image, and I only edited 2 of them. So let's delete these, copy these here. One copy becomes 0. 1A copy becomes 0A. I thought I had it set up so that if there were only 2 frames of animation, I only needed 2 copies of the image, but maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, so the other thing I need to change is the data, because it's now a height of... Oh, no, these numbers actually don't mean anything anymore, so I don't have to update this number, but gonna do it anyways. Alright, I'm not gonna restart the script or anything. I'm just gonna assume that works great. And I love it. I love it. Way better. So much better now. So much better. Sure good. Cool. What were we actually working on? Oh yeah, the verbosity. Cool. I think that's all we do here. Oh no, okay. Oh, alright. I should really unify how I handle like the voice processing. Yeah, I might as well do it now, because like Whenever I change this stuff, I end up changing it like a million different places. And by a million, I mean two. I don't care, whatever. Basically, like this whole business. Because I changed all of this, there's another place where like this stuff happens, and I should change it there too. I think I literally will use this exact same chunk of code verbatim, which was making me think like, oh, I should make like a separate function that does this. And maybe I probably should, but with Python, I don't always use functions in places that I should use Pythons, because I don't like how Python does functions. That like Python's like sense of scope does not align with how I would like it to. It's not like C languages is what I'm basically getting at, and this is one of those scenarios where I don't like Python. I prefer C languages. Like I liked how C languages worked, and so the fact that Python just seemingly arbitrarily changed it into like a way that's worse doesn't really do it for me, I guess. So all right, let's so yeah, here's the other place, and then it's so we're basically replacing all of this with this. We weren't indenting it properly, which would be like this. I hope it didn't just ruin everything. Wait, what is this act count thing? Oh, that yeah, no. I was like, wait, how is this here already? Why did I not have to select it? But that's just I did just paste it in there, but it's indented to the correct level already. Tremanicus, hey, how's it going? Welcome. Pythons. The pythons. Oh, the pythons and the whatnots. Oh, you know what's funny? HNX, I never ran that test before, but look what it came through as. It just kind of ditched. Oh, it didn't count those special O's as valid characters, so it only came through as like GMP, and it was like P is the last valid character, and is such the terminus. Oh, but you know what's funny is that it did count those characters for your verbosity. So instead of clocking you in at 16, it clocked you in at 25. So, interesting. There's no reason I couldn't support those characters. Is there regex for that? I wonder. Regex, alpha numeric, alpha including accents. There it was, yeah. Alphanumeric including accents. What? Oh, here we go. Alpha. Right? Alright, so yeah, I'm using W, right? But apparently I want to use this, like, alpha business. Like, square, alpha. Square brace. Okay. Okay. No, I can... That seems fine, because, like, we upgraded the game to, like, handle special characters as needed, so... Hypothetically, that should be fine. What is POSIX though? Is POSIX free or automatic, or do I have to like hook up? Do I have to like do include POSIX or something? No? Seems fine. I don't know. We'll try it. Yeah, fun. So yeah, we do that a lot of places. So act search equals so yeah, so let's look for this WW plus thing, because basically every place that we reference this, we're going to want to change it to action symbol plus, what was it? Okay, so the formulation in this example had it as instead of /w, use this. So so I think what we want it to be instead is hold on. I'm gonna move it so that it's off screen for you guys, but I can still see it. So replace /w with alpha. So I think it's going to be, I think if I'm understanding this correctly, it'll be square brace, alpha, square brace, square brace. Oops, I lost the slash. No, that's fine. Yeah, square brace, alpha, square brace, square brace, alpha, square brace, plus. Because we want at least one character. Hey, you came up with the same thing. Travanicus. Yeah, right. Okay, so Travanicus gets it. Or Trivanicus, sorry. I mispronounced your name subtly a lot. But I do know the correct pronunciation. Okay. Yeah, and so the reason for this is that so I think that with the plus symbol, there doesn't necessarily need to be a first initial instance. Like if there are 0 instances of alpha characters, that's also accepted as valid. I forget. It's either that it doesn't require an initial instance, and so like the blank hashtag symbol or the blank action tag symbol would get registered as an action tag, or it's that I don't want to accept tags of length 1. It's one of those two things. So, all right. So yeah, now we can. I think we can basically copy this. Let's go to other instances of this WW plus. Oh wait, actually, I guess I should be a little judicious because it's hypothetically possible that there are instances of this where I don't want to replace it. We'll see though. Yeah. So fact actions. Yeah. No. It's gonna be like basically every place. I won't just like hit replace all, but I will probably end up replacing all of them. It's like replace that one. What are we doing here? This is for creating an event. So yeah, replace that one. Act list. This is for I don't care. Yeah, no, this is for like pre-scripted events, so I can use accents in pre-scripted events. I'm not going to want to. Like, oh, ooh. You know what, actually? I don't want to replace this in a lot of places. I intentionally want to not use this in a lot of places. In fact, I'm going to be very judicious about the places where I do use this. Because I actually don't want to encourage players to do this. I don't want it specifically. I don't want accent characters used in any situation where a player could want to replicate that string, which is technically everywhere. So I'll say it differently. I'm not going to put it in any place where a player is incentivized to replicate that string, because I don't know how to make special characters on my keyboard. And so I really wouldn't expect the average player to know how to make accented characters on their keyboard. So if an event had a special character in it, then I, as a player, wouldn't know how to take that action, and that would be annoying to me as a player. So I will allow it in several places. I'll allow it in ad-lib events, because if someone wants to try and make a special character work in an ad-lib event, like, that's their prerogative. I don't see it happening for the exact same reason that I just described, but that is their prerogative. And for voice data as well. I don't want to stifle players' liberty to use those special characters. I just don't want that. I mean, like, ideally, what I'd want to do is like replace those special characters, right? Like, I wonder if there's like a way to do that. I basically want, like, I'd want to take accented characters and just replace them with the unaccented versions. So like Python replace accented characters. What's the best way to remove accents in a Python Unicode string? I have a unicorn string in Python, and I would like to remove all the accents. Me too. Unidecode. Ha! 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 Duh! Clever. So, HR next to your day is okay so far. Stayed up all night because just recently fixed your sleep schedule. Hey, good job. Then stayed up until 3 a.m. on several nights. Now, good job. Cool. That sounds like fun. Sorry. So do I want to use Unidecode? I mean, I guess so. It sounds great. Sounds exactly like what I was looking for. Unidecode. Yeah, I mean, this sounds good. I'm gonna look at see what other options are. Yep. Wait, import. So it's Unicode data. Unicorn data. Oh, is this like a built-in thing? Because yeah, like I don't like I'm not averse necessarily to like using like an external solution, but like if there is just like an internal thing, then like I don't know. So wait, strip accents, return. You don't have to go to an abandoned manor. You could just take the opportunity to regroup, right? You could just because there's an abandoned manor there doesn't mean all right, so what is happening here? So all right, so you make a definition. So you take a string S and you return. Oh. Okay. Okay, so it sounds like Unicode data.normalize is the thing. So you basically go you go character by character through your string, and for each character you Unicode data.normalize it. Let's look at the docs for normalize. Normalize returns the normal form for the unicorn string unistring. So in this case, I guess NFD is like the no flippin' diacritics. I assume that's what it stands for. No fancy diacritics. No. That's what it means to me, although I have no clue what it actually. Oh, here it goes. NFD. Does it explain? Oh, normal form normal form D. What are normal form C and normal form D? Canonical decomposition? Yowza. Into its decomposed form. Normal form C first applies a canonical decomposition, then composes pre-combined characters again? I have no clue what that means. Oh. So like, okay, so it like separates them out. Okay. Yeah, we don't necessarily want to do that. I mean, we could, but no. I think NFD is the correct answer here. Yeah. Oh, fun fact. We want to do this process before we send this stuff through the text filter, because otherwise you could very easily work around the text filter as such. Okay. Well, so okay. There's another thing to consider, which is that this is not free, right? This is extra processing power, and it's not like we can know in advance. Like, it's not like we can know in advance when we need to do this. So, like, we'll basically have to put this through literally all the text that goes through the game. That is a tall order. I mean, technically we only have to do that if the action symbol exists, but we don't necessarily run that check now. So whereas right now we just do the regex to find the those action tags, okay, so like one thing we could do, yeah, right, okay, we don't need to run this through literally all the text in the game, because what we can do is we can do that alpha, we can change the regex, right? We can change the regex to use that alpha thing, the square square alpha square square, and then run this on the results of that. Again, it's still not free. Like, of course it's not free. It's probably not even inexpensive. It actually feels like it could be expensive. Oh, you know what? Actually, we can probably like shoehorn this in to a place that would be not so difficult. And the reason for that is, whenever we're introducing new text to the game, we already have to check not just necessarily if there's a special character, but if there's a character that we haven't fabricated yet for our font set, which basically means special characters. But we could add it to that check, because I mean, for that check, like, you know, I mean, we had to bite the bullet for that, and we eventually got to the point where we literally had to screen literally every character in the string. So for all, I'm pretty sure for all pertinent strings, no, dang it, I was gonna say for all pertinent strings we're already going character by character, but that's not true, because that's only, we'll only, I mean, maybe it's not such a big bullet to bite, right? Like, maybe so we're not already going character by character through all the pertinent strings, but we're already going character by character through a lot of strings. So maybe it's, no, actually we don't even go through that many, now that I think about it. We actually, because that's kind of a costly thing, or like it's like a, you know, it's a non-trivial thing to do. We already are being very sparing with it. So this is definitely something to think about. So I'm gonna add it to the backlog, but I'm adding it to the backlog, I think, because I don't have any specific immediate plans to take action on it. So yeah. All right. Let's. So yeah. So I'll leave myself breadcrumbs so I can get back, so I can pick back up. So Unicode data dot normalize. Unicorn. Data dot normalize. What was it? NFD. No flippin' diacritics. S or whatever. Okay. Oops. I never hit the add card button. I never hit the add button. Yeah. Okay. Am I expecting a phone call, or do I wear the earpiece 24/7? I'm wearing the earpiece now because I tend to listen to music when I'm working, but I'm not listening to licensed music. I have license to listen to the music, but I don't have license to rebroadcast this music. So I'm listening to it in an earpiece. I used to use earbuds, but because I like wave my arms around, I would tend to like knock my tablet off the table because I would like flail my arms and like hit the cord, and like most of the time I would just rip the cords out of either my ears or out of the tablet, but like I was always paranoid that I was gonna like hit it in such a way that like my tablet would get even more broken. My tablet's already broken, the screen is already like spider-webbed, but like I don't want it to get more spider-webbed because it still works, and like if it gets more spider-webbed it might not work anymore. There's literally like a piece of like the screen that's like half the size of a penny that's just like hanging off. But it still works. Um, yeah. Okay. And then okay, so I should probably get back to you. That was fun. Thank you again, Atrionx for or Atrionx. Sorry for mispronouncing your name, but thank you for like, you know, going there, because now I'm cognizant of that, and like it's one of those things that like I would like to handle that. I would like to do something there, but like between like performance considerations and like you know, design, like the design around it, I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm gonna look at it someday. It's not an old tablet is the sad thing. The tablet's like a little over a year old. Well, I guess actually in tablet years, I guess that's actually really old, but I just it's the first time I've broken a mobile device, and wow, have I broken it. I've made up for lost time. Is that an Oreo? I want to eat a big plate of green beans. Not necessarily green beans, but like I want to eat a big plate of something right now, and if I was going to eat a big plate of something right now, it would be green beans, because I'm being healthy now. I'm being healthy right now because I was being so unhealthy yesterday. I bought an entire thing of like I bought way too much food, and like I just destroyed it. I did disgusting things to that food. What am I doing in life? No, okay, as I recall, I set up the, yeah, I'm not resetting the verbosity, the round verbosity, and I'm not, actually doing anything with the round verbosity, so if I ran the script right now, round verbosity would just, like, tick, and it would just tick up forever, and ever, and ever, and never stop ticking up. I'm gonna just make sure I didn't accidentally leave the script in a weird state from those things that are, yeah, okay, so we're not referencing, okay. Good. And yeah, now let's hook up that round verbosity, right? Am I right? Am I right or am I right? Your iPad is 4 years old. Yikes. That's awesome. That's awesome. This community. That is great. So it just falls off. Hey, ArcMM, how's it going? Welcome. Illuminati. Huh. Okay, yeah, so, right, so, sorry, excuse me, I'm gross, but hooking up the verbosity, it's gonna happen at the same place as we do energy, right? Presumably. No, I guess it doesn't have to happen at the, no, it does, it'll happen, like, basically at the, it'll basically be, like, part of the energy process. I can probably even leverage the looping that I'm already doing, because I'm already looping over, like, the entire player dictionary in order to blah, 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 so I can just do the verbosity at the same time. Yes, capitalization. Am I still... You know what's funny? The last time someone came in and asked, am I still working on SideQuest, I interpreted it as an insult, and I was joking. Like, I was being sardonic. Like, I didn't actually, like, mean ill will by it, but like, my response, because I perceived it as a slight, like, my response inspired such a negative reaction. I'm even blanking on, like, who it was at this point. I just remember, like, the last time I got that question, I fielded it in a very, apparently a very, like, incendiary manner, and Well, I used the word stupid like probably like 80 times. Like probably like almost literally 100 times in in responding to that question. I used it, I don't know. I almost considered highlighting that clip just because of like how tragic, like how much of a car accident it was. All right, where's this energy stuff? It's like right around here. So yeah, long story short, I am still working on side quest. Uh, yeah, no. So the way you but actually no, I think the way you phrased it is probably the same way like the other person phrased it. But for some reason, like the like last time someone asked that question, I like in my mind's ear, I heard it as, "Are you still working on this game?" And I think I was probably like in a salty mood at that time, so like I didn't have a lot of I responded as like, "Yeah, I'm still working on it. Like, deal with it." Uh, uh, yeah, no, I think part of the reason I was like sensitive to that is because some people have literally like barged in and be like, why are you working on side quests? Like, side quest isn't a real game, and so like I don't know. I guess I was like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't have a good excuse, but like that was like I. Oh man, I'll just never forget how that conversation went down because like so many of my expectations were defied. Or like, oops, no, find energy. Okay, yeah, yeah. Here's where we're doing it. Oh right, okay, so okay. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Oh right, because we do it differently for. Oh. Yeah, what do we do with verbosity and archery? Like, are you expected to be verbose in archery? I guess it's not going to hurt to be verbose in archery. Like, it's not going to hurt to apply the standard of verbosity in archery, not because I necessarily expect players to be verbose in archery, but because the players who are verbose in archery are really going above and beyond. They're really earning it. So, uh, uh, yeah, I mean, like Trevenicus, like some people will almost literally say that. Some people have probably even said like worse things than that, and so yeah, yeah. Um. So, yeah, okay. Um. uh. Okay. So yeah. So if event type category equals 0. Yeah, so for this, we don't care about event type category. Actually, you know what? Yeah, no, for this, we don't even care about whether it's archery or not. We're just gonna straight up say, player dictionary, regardless of the event type, or blah 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 blah. I don't like myself saying that phrase, so I should really not be saying it. Oh, I do need to make sure. Oh, yeah. Well, Oh, okay. Wait, yeah, I can just do it. I was like, wait, I should be. I like wherever I do this, I do have to do it within a p key loop. For p key and event set. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I can just do it here. Okay, so for p key and player set, if p key and event set, this is fine. This is the same thing basically. Player dictionary index p key. Oh, so I don't know how true this is, but so pertinent to what ArcMM asked, am I still working on side quest? Yeah. So one interesting factoid of recent developments on side quest is I don't know how true this is, but for the first time in a long time, oh no, so player dictionary index p key dot verbosity equals player dictionary index player dictionary index p key. Yeah, the other day when I was working on side quest, something occurred to me that is oh wait, hold on, we need to no, this is fine. No, right, no. I was like, wait, we need to do integer math here, but these aren't integers, these are floats. So well no, I guess technically the iterator isn't whatever, okay. What was I? what was I talking about? Oh, div 0. Right. No, we have to watch out for div 0 errors. So if player, yeah. Oh, sorry. I have like 5 sentences like that I started and I haven't finished. So I should, or like 5 like trains of thought that I haven't. Sorry, I'm sorry. So Peaky. Sorry. Let me just do this first, and then I'll answer all of those dangling thoughts. Will get dedangled. Peaky. Round verbalization. So if round verbalization count is greater than 0, we can avoid the div 0 errors. So we'll say, so in this scenario, we'll say verbosity verbosity plus equals player dictionary p key dot round verbosity divided by round verbalization count. Okay. Yeah, and so this is a float. Verbosity is a float. Round verbosity is a float. Round verbalization count is an integer, but a float divided by an integer will still be a float. So, and even if it was an integer, we can add an integer to a float, and everything will work out fine. Just dandy. All right. Yeah. No. The thing that occurred to me the other day that I don't know how true it is. I once I finished implementing archery for SideQuest, for the first time in like the history of ever, I felt like SideQuest might be close to done. Like it was this really strange feeling. Like it no longer felt like SideQuest was like gonna be something someday. It felt like it was actually like hitting on like what I wanted it to be, and that we were actually like and again, I don't know how true this is. It might be that this what I'm actually feeling is that like it's now actually vaguely satisfactory, and I'm now actually poised to like put in all of the work that will make it like a real game. But it's coming along, I guess, is the important thing. Mr. Moose, thank you for hosting. Welcome everyone. We're working on so SideQuest, the game that I was just talking about, is what we're working on. It's also what you see happening on the bottom of the screen here, and it's the game that's playing out in this channel as we speak. You'll notice that like there are characters on the bottom of the screen, and those characters are us. And those characters are me and you and those other guys and everyone. And yeah, so it's also the game that we're working on specifically. So yeah, so if you're not familiar with it, sorry, just checking chat. It looks like Binri isn't using 24 karat gold for the gold tipped wing because there's no way 2.611 grams of gold can cover that much of a wing. What about magic? Would magic explain it? I'm not like a gold man. I'm not an auramancer, which I think is what you would call all right. So SideQuest. It's a story-based game. It's like kind of like yeah. If you've never seen it before, I describe it as like basically like Dungeons and Dragons played through a live stream kind of thing. It's about an adventure. It's so the GM is Trusty Bard. You'll see in chat. Thank you, Mr. Moose. Yeah, to be clear, close to done could just mean like I'm 10% of the way done, but it feels it's a feeling, and it's a good one. Thank you. Yeah. So okay. So the way SideQuest plays, someone can act as like the storyteller for the game. Trusty Bard is the bot who sometimes who tends to act as storyteller. But I also have a secret control panel. I'm sorry. I'm just giving a quick recap. I also have a secret control panel whereby I can act as the GM, and also players in chat can act as the GM as if I appoint them. So the feature that I'm working on right now is a way that I don't actually have to appoint a player to be the chat GM. It's going to be a way to automatically, like, the game will automatically keep track of like who might be a good GM, and at spontaneous times it will offer that player like, hey, would you like to take a turn? So it's like it's kind of like it's supposed to be like another way to. I want the game to feel as lively as possible. Like I picture the game as like if you so like the tabletop RPG comparison, like if you picture people playing like a tabletop RPG, it's like this lively discussion like of all the of like players like around a table, like, oh, I do this, like I cast like the spell, and like, oh, blah, 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 you know, like I you know, roll dexterity for like, but yeah, and like it's like, you know, it's this, it's like it's a story that plays out through dialogue. And like, yeah, I really want so one of the challenges. Sorry, I'm going like philosophical for just a moment, but one of the challenges in making the game was like basically taking like trying to keep or like trying to capture what I find really magical about tabletop role playing, but take away the barrier to entry, because that's I think that's one of the most inhibiting factor to tabletop RPGs, is that it's hard to get one up and running, and once you do, there's a lot of work that goes into between when you have it up and running and when you actually like start playing, like just in terms of like character creation and stuff like that. So basically what I'm trying to do is like I'm trying to like capture the magic of it, like the, you know, the fun of it, while at the same time having that low barrier of entry. And I'm also like, you know, I have other goals for it too. I'm not just trying to like clone that genre. Yeah. Oh, sorry. How does a player become a GM? How does the player act as GM? Yeah. Oh, those are excellent questions. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to chat because I was opining and monologuing. But yeah, we have a document on how to lead side quests. So this document describes the traditional chat GMing, and everything described in this document is already up and running and working, and like that's all implemented. Like this I can do right now if I want to. Like I could appoint someone chat GM right now, and they could run the game as described in this sheet, the how to lead side quest sheet. Yeah, so the new system is going to be like yeah, like I was saying before, it's like a not just like a separate mode of the game, but like it's a way to like weave this mode into the game such that it's more of a core fundamental part of the game. And then like so like kind of the idea of this as well is that like so like so we have chat GMing and that works, but we rarely ever do it. And I think it's because like it's kind of like a daunting sort of thing, right? Like I think like, you know, just by the nature of like streaming, you follow a channel, but like it's relatively rare that a person will follow a channel as closely as that channel is broadcast. At least for like that's not necessarily true for all channels. Like some channels only broadcast like an hour a month, and then it's really easy to be like core, like to be like all over it, to like feel like, you know, a sense of like not ownership, but a sense of like comfort, or to feel that like, yes, I am of this channel, like this channel is something that I fully comprehend. I think it's actually much more common in a lot of channels to feel like a guest or to feel like a visitor. And so as such, I think like, you know, as a guest or like if you were to go to someone's like tabletop RPG as like a friend of a friend, or like not even like a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, and like and just be there, like you wouldn't be like, I'm gonna GM now, right? Like you'd probably like just you know, scope things out, see like how things are going. And so I kind of want to like, so I guess like one of my goals for this mode is to like make it as a stepping stone. So you know, so like you don't have to for one thing, you don't have to ask. Like the game will literally ask you, is this something you would like to do? And so and there's no commitment, because like it's not like, would you like to be GM? You know, it's not like, would you like to be GM? It's like, would you like to do a single GM thing, like just once, just for fun, right? Just try it, try it out. It's entirely optional. And then maybe some people will try it, and maybe some people will like it, and maybe some people will want to, all right, so that's I'll get back to like actually implementing stuff. Hopefully, but yeah. So hopefully that's like at least like enough of an overview that like people get a sense of like what's going on here. But then also feel free to ask questions because I could talk for years. I could spend more time talking about this game than I've spent working on this game, just because of like what I want to do with this game and like how I feel about like what I've done with this game. Anyways, all right, right. So we're okay. So once we do this verbosity thing, the other thing we can do here is and the other thing that we have to do here is for these two values for like round verbosity and round verbalization count, we have to reset these. Otherwise, they're going to just like amalgamate or like snowball and like go cray. Z. I don't think I can say cray straight faced. I don't think I'm a person who can say cray and have it not sound ridiculous. So sorry. Sorry for trying. Um, yes. Okay. So if verbalization count was set greater than 0, we factor it in, we reset it, and then so the other place that we handle energy is when we scale it down, which is here. Energy fade. Yes. If player... Wait a second. If player dictionary pk dot acted? Oh, dot acted, yeah. Acted just means has taken any action in the history of ever. And that's just so we don't have to bother adjusting energy values for players who have never even taken an action. Like, at all. Oh, yeah. That was the other thing I forgot to do, is, yeah. Oh, okay, so, you know what's funny is, what you did there, Trivanicus, is one thing that, keeps happening. And I honestly don't understand why people do this. So I need to ask you, why did you say luck? Why did you say luck? Like, you did everything right, but then you said luck, which isn't to say that it's wrong, but it doesn't do anything to say luck there. And I shouldn't even have said that yet, but I just really need to know. Like, please don't let what I just said discourage you from answering earnestly the question, why did you put that there? Because I've clearly done something wrong with how I'm describing it, because everyone puts that there, and it doesn't go there. And I don't understand why people keep putting it there. So I really need to change that document so that it's clear to people that it doesn't go there, because otherwise people are going to keep putting it there, and I'm clearly the document is deficient. Right. Yeah, but like let's look at the document. It says how to start an event. And then it tells you this whole thing. And then oh, frick. Oh, is it cuz I have multi here? Is it that like it feels like it would be an event type? Okay, you know what I'm going to do is well, no, I'm not going to get rid of that necessarily. I'm going to add more examples. Wait, how do we do this? How do I want to format this? I guess I want to formatting paragraph. Where's format paragraph styles. Flippity gibbets. Okay, I'll just make it a bulleted list. I can do that, right? Bullets. Format? Bullets? Where can you not do bullets here? You have to be able to do bullets. You have to be able to do bullets. Oh, lists, probably. Yeah, there we go. Bulleted lists. Sure, I don't care, whatever. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so that doesn't even make sense for it to be a multi-event. Actually, no, you know what? No, never mind. I'm just going to take out the multi-tag. Yeah. Because it's something completely different. It's also not something important. Oh. It's also just not even, like, super relevant. Boof. Yeah, also I changed it. Like technically multi is like the legacy implementations. Uh uh all right, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I still need to figure that out. And I still need to improve the document. Yeah, right. This is when it's actually supposed to happen. This is this is when like yeah, this is when that is actually supposed to happen. But like the thing about that is that like this is in a separate section. It's not in the how to start an event section. It's in a separate section about how to declare the event type, and it literally says at the middle of an event, you can choose the event type. So it's clearly just not clear. It's very clearly just like still I'm sure it's still like set up in a way that like people are still going to keep doing that, and I still need to fix it in some way. But I can worry about that later. Okay, and then you get partial. You still get not full credit, but you do still get credit for participating after the event is done. So yes. You don't have to discourage people for participating after the event is done, because that's a valid form of participation. There's no way to game the system to get like there's no advantage to participating after the event, but it is a valid form of participation. So okay. Yeah, okay, so if the player's acted, this is also where we can say okay, so yeah, we'll want to do something very similar, like the whole energies.append thing. For starters, we'll do the thing about just like energy fade, and we could just use energy fade for this too. I'd probably want to tune it separately as a separate value. I don't know. Energy fade might be fine actually. P key dot verbosity times equals energy fade. I might want to make like verbosity fade as like a separate value. Yeah, I think I will just follow like the same conventions as like what is energies? Like where is energies actually getting set? Sorry, the song I'm listening to is really, I don't know, catchy, I guess. Yeah. All right. Energies. So verbalists. I don't know. Yeah. What do we add here? So we'll say. Verbalists dot append. So we're gonna do data pairs here. We're gonna add the player's verbosity, and then also the player's name, because we're gonna do something very different with verbosity than we do with energy. So append a single data point consisting of the player's verbosity and the player's name, which is their P key. Yeah. Excuse me. Asado, yeah, it was nice to see you. I hope to see you again sometime. Then so verbalists.append. Okay, so what is it that we want to do with the verbalists? The list. Okay. So we do. So if length of energy is greater than 0. So yeah. So this is like the whole energy block. So I'll skip to after the energy block. We'll say so if the length of verbalists, I mean it's pretty safe to assume that the length of verbalists is going to be greater than 0, but whatever. If the length of verbalists is greater than 0, oh, yeah, no, actually, verbosity is very closely tied to verbalist, because this value is not just verbosity. This value that we want to rank these players by is actually verbosity times energy. Yes. Because if a new player shows up and on their first action just gets perfect verbosity, they're not necessarily the best candidate for this event. It's the player who's like not just the most verbose, but is also like hitting all the high points in the game itself. So yeah. How did I start working in this game? Oh hey, Chaoscom, how's it going? Welcome. Anyone else just type the first two characters, then hit tab? How did I start working on this game? I started working on this game. Okay, so the previous game I was working on. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. No, I won't get distracted. Because I've been doing that too much today. The previous game that I was working on, I had like a fixed like stopping point, and I decided at a certain point when I hit that game, I was just gonna do this like fun project, like just for kicks, like just like do this like crazy unconventional weirdo project. Just it was supposed to be quick. I was thinking I would do it in like a month, just like one and done sort of thing, and I ended up the previous project ended up taking longer than I expected, and so the time that I had planned to spend on this project was much shorter. I'd used up a bunch of that window, and so I only had a week. And at the end of that week, I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep working on it a little bit longer. And I was like, I'm going to keep working on it a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer. Here we are, like 7 or 8 months later, and I'm still working on it. Because I never got to a point where, like, I stopped thinking. I never got to the point where I was like, this can't get any better. Like, at every point in the project, I've thought, like, oh my gosh, you know what I could do? Oh my gosh, you know what I could do? Oh my gosh, you know what I could do? So yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Chaoscom. I do tend to have very dramatic thumbnails. Yesterday, I was like, I had a thumbnail that was like, what was it? It was like, something like that. I should just like do the entire stream like this, and that way I'm guaranteed to have like good thumbnails. Okay. Well, so that's the thing. I guess like you can consider that like I planned on finishing this project in a month, and so I did kind of have a deadline at one point, but because like I ended up starting it with only a week in that month, I don't know. I never felt like I had a deadline on this project. And then the other thing is that I still haven't really. So I have ideas for like the next project. Yeah, okay, I think that's what it is. I have ideas for like the next project, but I've never felt more excited about the next project than I do about this project. Which the cool thing about it is that when you're the boss, like you can use that as like a valid excuse to continue working on something. Yeah, actually, so sorry. I will get back to work, but just the one other like answer piece of that question is that I also originally concepted this game to run in like charity streams, and I still want to use it for that purpose. My goal for it is not. I mean, like I run it in this channel because why not? It's good testing, and why not? You know, I think it's like I think it doesn't hurt anything, and I think it's kind of nice. But yeah, no, my goal for it is still to use it for like charity streams because I just like that was one of the things that like when I got into streaming, like when I started really like watching streaming, I was sold. I was like, this is great. I find this entertaining. But it was like when I realized that like people were using the medium for like, you know, just really positive goals. I was like, awesome. I was like, yes, those people. And so I don't know. This is kind of like my way of like, hey, I'm helping. I don't know. Okay. Right. Okay. So it's not. Yeah. Right. So it's not just verbosity. It's verbosity times energy. So if the length of verbalist is greater than 0, we'll say verbalists dot sort reverse equals true, because we want it. We don't care about the lowest numbers. We care about the highest numbers. So we want those at the top of the list, and then we actually only care about the highest value. Oh, so actually we don't need the whole list actually, because we literally only care about the highest value. Well, I don't know. This goes back to like something I was talking about earlier, which is, and I still haven't decided on it yet. Either we only care about the highest value, and at each of these opportunities, we literally only just ask like the first player, like, "Hey, would you like to do this?" Well, so okay. There are pros and cons to either approach. For each time, like we calculate this and like set this up, we could ask exactly one person. We could only care about the top person, and we could just ask them. The distinct advantage there is that we don't have to ask for confirmation. We can just tell that person, like, hey, you have this opportunity, and just leave it at that. Just leave it open-ended. Like, hey, you have this opportunity. Do with that what you will. The alternative is that we could keep this list, and we could, instead of just going for the top player, we could look at like the top few players, and oh, actually something else just occurred to me. Okay, so yeah, so so if we took the list of the top players, we could ask the first player, hey, is this something you want to do? And if that person's like, nah, then we could ask the second person, like, hey, is this something you'd want to do? And we could just keep going down the list until we find someone that is actually interested. The downside to that approach is that we actually have to confirm it, because we can't just like say, because like if the first person doesn't respond, like, okay, so here, like, consider these two scenarios. If we tried to use the same approach as the single player, like the singular option, and we say, hey player, you have this opportunity, and if we wait a minute and the player doesn't respond, and we say to player number two, hey player number two, you have this opportunity, what can happen there is if the first player didn't say anything because they already started typing the event, there could be a collision. Like if we like, so either we close it off to that first player accidentally prematurely when they were actually still trying to type the event and just hadn't finished typing it yet, and then it kind of goes to waste, and I don't like that. That doesn't sound fun to me. Or we leave it open for multiple players at the same time, and then those players collide, because what if both players do the same thing and they both start like typing it out? Or like, you know, a million other possible outcomes. Oh, you guys broke the curse. Congratulations. I wasn't even paying attention, but you guys are doing great. Keep up the great work. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I don't. Okay, so I'm actually at this. Yeah, so the thing that occurred to me, like, while I was talking through that explanation, and the thing that I think I want to the thing that might tilt me in one direction or the other is that if we only open this opportunity to a single player, well, so the dangerous thing there is that what if this player doesn't want to guest GM, but what if they continue to be the top ranking player? Then it's just going to keep asking the same player, do you want to do it? And they're just going to probably like keep saying no. But what if like the number 2 or number 3 player like really want to? Like, what if other players out there really want to? So actually, maybe I'll take a completely different approach. Maybe instead of like, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So to handle so basically I want the player who I want to have this opportunity is the player who wants this opportunity the most enthusiastic and eager player. So what I think will be the case is that the opportunity will be available to multiple players, and there will be a confirmation. However, we're not going to wait to hear back from the players. Basically, at the end, at intervals, which will just be at the end of the event, right? It'll be after the outro text for the event. I might wait like 20 seconds or something, just so it's not like immediate, like so that people have time to process like the results of the event before this happens. But when this happens, it's basically going to be like, hey, you top 10 players, right? Like, hey, you, and you. Like, it's going to call them out by name because when you see your name in chat, it like gets highlighted, right? So it's a little easier to notice. So it's going to be like, hey, you. The first one of you to say, like, gimme, or, like, whatever the magic word is, the first one of you to say the magic word is going to get this opportunity. So then the first person who says the magic word, Trusty Bard will be like, okay, you got it. You got this magic opportunity. Here's what you do with it. Yeah, right? Okay. Yeah. So then, so the other thing that occurred to me is that I don't want literally the same players to, I want this to be like a rotating sort of thing. Like, I want it to be rotating amongst the players who are doing the best. And so, like, just because a player got this opportunity once doesn't mean, like, they never get this opportunity ever again. But I want it to be so that, like, if there are a ton of people who want this opportunity, that, like, it's more likely that those players will get a chance. Even if they're not, like, literally nailing it. Because, like, with verbosity, like, every player has perfect control over their own verbosity. So a player who wants to have perfect verbosity all the time can accomplish that on their own. There's a certain extent to which energy levels are... It's not that they're out of the player's control, it's that, like, in order to max out your energy levels, you have to play the game perfectly. And let's be honest, like, the whole point of a game is not that, like, everyone can get magically 100%, like, automatically all the time. The point of the, like... In my opinion, a good game has a challenge to it. When you go into a game, you don't know that you're going to win it. You want to win it, and the possibility to win it is there, but, like, you don't know that you're going to win it. And so, like, for circumstances outside of players' control, like, alright, anyways, botting. Yeah. Yeah, I've put some thought into that. Like, the easy answer is just ban bots. And then but then, like, that like that works here and now. But oh, sorry. Sorry, ChaosCom. Yeah. Thank you, Troy Venicus. Right. So the current task, I should probably, like, do that thing where, like, whatever's the current task, I have it on screen. I mean, I could just have it so that, like, the present column of, I could just, like, put this, like, on screen somewhere. I don't know. I should consider that. Right, so spontaneous guest GMing is, like, the current thing, that we're working on, as Troy Venica said. Yeah, so I have started to, like, yeah, right. So the solution of just banning bots, it doesn't scale up very well, because when they're, like, hypothetically, if there were, like, hundreds of thousands of players, or even just thousands of players playing this game, heck, even if there were just hundreds of players playing this game, it'd be hard to, like, for just a human to, like, parse all of that input and, like, find who are the bots. So I have put some thought into, like, how what I would do for, like, anti-botting protocols. Yeah, that is something that yeah, it hasn't been a problem yet, so it's something that I haven't solved yet. But that is a good point. That right, especially for, like, stuff like this, I'll want to make sure that, like, bots. Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, no, you know what I'll do? Ooh, probably is I'll put in, like, a bidding system. Right. Okay. So actually. Okay, yeah, you know what I'll do is, I'm not even going to say who has this opportunity. I'm going to put together the list of verbalists, but, oh no, you know what I'm going to do, actually? Yeah, no, I'm not even going to put together the list of verbalists, now that I think about it. I'm just going to keep track of the verbosity on the player. Because what's going to happen is we're going to yeah, okay, so when this opportunity arises, it's not like, hey, you and you have this opportunity. It's, hey, literally everyone, here's this opportunity. every player can bid, but the player that's chosen will be the player that so this will be used to basically figure out who of the players who bid. Yeah. And also, when I say bidding, I do actually kind of mean it as bidding, because I don't think I ever finished the sentence, but or I never finished the thought, but like the thing about like having it as a round robin so that like more people get chances is that you kind of spend some of your verbosity when you do this, when you take this opportunity. So okay, that actually is another thing to keep into account, because because verbosity can be perfect from the get-go. We'll have to keep track of that in some slight other manner. So we'll probably have like a verbosity like fade or something, or like a verbosity damper or something, or like it's basically just like another value that gets multiplied into this equation in terms of figuring out like who should get the chance when, and et cetera, et cetera. So adventure. So we'll have verbosity, we'll have round verbosity, we'll have round verbalization count, and we'll have verbosity damper or something. And it'll start as 1.0, and then like when you get the opportunity, it'll probably go down to like 0.5 or something. And then when we yeah, actually let's do this too. We'll say so verbosity damper, so yeah, where do we reset these other things? So yeah, so when we're setting, oh no, not here. So at the end of the round, no, not here either. At the end of the round, what the heck? Oh, I must have misspelled it. Round verbalization count. Yeah, because it's not saying there are any other references to it. Whoops. All right, let's copy this, because I do need to be spelling it correctly. Oh, verbalization count. Yep. Oops. Okay, yeah. So when we do these other things, we'll also say player dictionary. Actually, here I'm just gonna duplicate this line. What did we call it? Verbosity damper. Verbosity damper. How do we get this to approach 1? We say divided by equals 0.5? No. That's the same as saying times 2. No, we have to like we have to raise it to a power, I think. So verbosity damper equals pow verbosity damper, we'll raise it to the fractional power, which if you raise a like if you take the square root of a number between 0 and 1, it moves towards 1. So I don't know, like 0.5, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry, I just went out of chat for a little bit. Sorry. So yeah, so another thing that like passed through my mind that I didn't actually say out loud yet regarding bots. Well, so for one thing, like if your bot, well, okay, if someone programs their bot, if someone bots this game, like boo them. If someone bots this game and sets up their bot to actually bid to be GM, I think basically like, I think I'm gonna add in like a feedback system so that basically like players can indicate like how good a GM is. Okay, yeah, as soon as I say that out loud, like it occurs to me like this is basically going to turn into like a troll war. So I'll be judicious about how I handle it, but like, yeah, maybe I don't know exactly what I want to do with this, but basically like anyone who bids for this opportunity and wastes it is like fired. I might literally like well, so one thing I could do like for the verbosity damper is I could have a similar value that like actually gets, instead of just as a like a temporary thing, actually gets like saved to the player's account, and And so like basically like if players like take and squander this opportunity, then they they're fired basically. Like they're basically like permanently fired from this position. So yeah, I was thinking like crowdsource that, right? Although yeah, I do want to incorporate player feedback because I think there's value to that. So yeah, so raising to the power of 0.5 is the same as square rooting, and in Python this is how you square root something. Um, Square rooting is just a special case of raising something to a fractional power. It's just a very special case. There's nothing special about it. I mean, there kind of is. Like, it does all the things that we know it does. But, like, there's nothing special about it other than the fact that it's, like, popular, basically. Um, there's nothing magical about it, right? Uh, Wait, the problem with timing in IRC chats is that you never know when the messages arrive? I don't know. Oh, people watching the stream can learn how to cheat. Yeah, no, that's true. I just have to account for that, right? Because I mean, like, the whole point of it is that uh, it's about human interaction at its fundamental level, right? And like some people are just terrible people, and like that's not a solved problem. Like terrible people exist in the world, and there are various methods and protocols. Like what? So the strategy there is that uh, like you have a workable system if the system is worse for terrible people than it is for good people. If the optimal participation in a system is that of a good person, and I know I'm not even defining these terms, but I think we know generally what we mean when we say like good person versus troll, like good faith versus like ill will sort of thing. Yeah, no, a system can work. A system doesn't have to be foolproof and like ironclad in order to work. A system simply has to like strongly encourage players to be good or strongly discourage players to be evil. So yeah, so right, yeah, no, that is an additional challenge with streaming is that like I mean it's the same challenge as like with an open source project. Like with an open source project, like players can hack it as effectively as like whatever, and yeah, it's just about the control of information, and I'm willing to take on that challenge. All right, right. So dampers and blah blah bling blong, and I don't like myself saying that, but I haven't solved myself from saying it yet. I'm working on that still. Let's do what now? Okay, so now let's put in the opportunity itself. Is it gonna be like literally all the time? I might make it so that this opportunity only arises if there's not already a dedicated chat jam. Actually, no. There's going to be two caveats. Not four, two. There's going to be two caveats. If there's already a dedicated chat jam, then we probably won't do this. Because if there's, yeah. Well, for one thing, that doesn't come up very often, and then also, well, or maybe we'll do it as a separate thing. Maybe, yeah, no. Actually, maybe we'll just have like a single like toggle that basically like says, can these opportunities arise, or do we want to like disable these opportunities? Because the other thing is like hypothetically if you're playing well, like so one valid mode for this game is like I haven't really done it yet, but like there's like actually I think a really actually like arguably like a very good way to play this game would be to for the GM like me for example, like the administrative GM, to actually like plan out like a storyline and like actually like play through that storyline like a GM in a tabletop RPG would do. I haven't done that yet, but I don't want to like interfere. I don't want to disrupt or like disable that as like a valid mode of playing. So in a situation like that, the GM, who knows, maybe they're feeling very flexible and very accommodating and would want to allow players to have these like guest GM spots like in the middle of their story. But that depending on how like planned out the storyline is, it could be really hard to accommodate that, such that a GM might not want that to be the case. So yeah, so I guess like actually it won't be two separate conditions. It'll just be the condition that, you know, whoever is acting as GM or administrator can toggle on or off these opportunities during their reign, right? Like, oh, I'm helping. Hold on, I'm helping. Fend. Yeah, gold stars. Okay. Hey, just in time too. Okay. Um, yeah, it was at silver stars, and I was like, oh wait, I can help it get to gold stars. All right. Hey, Watson 6. Welcome. How's it going? Sorry, I'm all over the place today. Yes. Okay. So right. I'll put in that toggle at some point, but well, I'll make a note to myself to put in that toggle at some point. Well, I don't know. There's like a million things for spontaneous guest GMing that I'll have to put in at some point. Spontaneous guest GMing. Well, I'll just make a note here. So like spontaneous guest GMing, like with toggle. There's probably like I said, there's probably a million other things that I'll want to put in there at some point. But all right. So if all right. So yeah. So we're not doing like the verbalist thing or anything. The verbalists list or anything, but if oh, x to the third is not the third root of x because of the limited precision of floating values on computers. Well, yeah, float and precision is just like always a thing. Float and floats, right? Am I right? Floats. What if someone is GM? They start the round, power goes out for an hour, round is never ended. Oh, yeah, no, we have, right, okay, so yeah, yeah, actually, this is not intuitive. It's something that I've already thought of, but it's dissimilar than anything that we have in the game so far. Like I've been saying, like, this task could very well become, like, a rabbit hole down which, like, almost nearly infinite other tasks, like, arise. I have thought through this one, at least, though. So with chat GMs and with the secret control panel, the event doesn't have a fixed terminus. The event just goes. The event just like plays out. It just waits for the GM, for the chat GM, or for the administrator to conclude the event. Okay, so yeah, what Trivanica says, in the case of a chat GM, like an appointed chat GM, if that player leaves the channel, it doesn't immediately terminate the event. It leaves like the event open for like an extra like minute and a half or something like that. Because if the GM just got disconnected, but they're about to reconnect and they can get back into the channel and they can keep playing, like that's fine. Like they can keep playing. However, if they're not back in that minute and a half, then they're relieved of their duties, and it just goes back to normal. There's nothing like that for the administrator, because if the administrator of the game falls asleep, then like that sucks. That's a bad administrator. So far, I'm the only administrator of this game, so I just hold myself to that responsibility. With chat GMs, you don't have to have because there's no responsibility associated with chat GM. It's entirely like opt-in. It's entirely on a volunteer basis, or like a volunteer. You know, it's entirely opt-in. Like for every piece of it, I want to take a hybrid approach. The GM the spontaneous guest GM will have the option to administer the event, just like a chat GM can administer the event using like all the same commands. However, we won't expect that to happen. Just like with the prescripted events, we'll have a plan B, basically. So for the chat GM to act as the chat GM, as the spontaneous guest GM might, they basically have to they have to input the commands before the game does it automatically, and if they don't, the game will do it automatically. So an artificial binary bot who will watch over the event. Trusty Bard is the administrator. Or Trusty Bard is the I don't like calling him a bot. Trusty Bard is the Trusty Bard does that already. I'll just say that's Trusty Bard's job. How long until you release a beta, and how much are you going to charge? Yes. How long until I release a beta? Yeah. Well, so that a question. There's a very strong assumption with that question, which I'll have to correct, which is I don't ever intend to fracture side quests. I view side quest as an MMO, more so than anything else. And so, if you gain experience in side quests, I don't anticipate to ever take that experience away from you. I'll let you think through the ramifications of that. All right, ChaosCom. You asked for it. You freaking asked for it. There you go. All right. Right, let's get back to work. I don't feel like I'm moving very fast. I feel like I could be moving faster. Let's set up the call out, like the open call, like, hey, who wants to be GM? So yeah, like I was saying, I think I want this to happen like roughly like 20. Oh, okay. Ooh. Okay, yeah, so there is one thing that I have to figure out here, which is what do I want to do with okay. No, you know what? Right. Okay, cool. Okay. Sorry. Because I'm kind of separating the notion of like, because there's no longer the notion there's no longer the because Chaoscom kept saying like, you need a separate bot, you need a binary bot. I don't know if Chaoscom knew that binary bot actually already exists, but I just logged in as binary bot and yeah, said you called. Okay. Yeah, because like, so we're still doing like the verbosity like calculations under the hood, but because we're not being like overt about like the connectedness between like how we're processing this versus like how it plays into like these opportunities, distance these opportunities from the previous events. So yeah, so the nice thing about that is that we'll kind of have like an internal we can pace the prompts to facilitate a natural like pace for the frequency of these events, right? Because if we do it like I was saying, so like I'll wait for these prompts to happen like 30 seconds after an event, but if people like are on their game, like if people are like all over it, then what can happen is that like events can just keep firing like 30 seconds after the previous event, and that's not how the game was meant to be played. The game was meant to be played at a slightly like there's supposed to be like events are supposed to be like important occurrences, but there's also there's supposed to be time between the events, because I mean they're not prominent right now, but there are other game systems that Selgon, hey, how's it going? Welcome. There are other game systems that are supposed to have opportunities to occur, and those happen between the events. So yeah, so no, I'm going to probably wait like until the halfway point. Again, I'm going back to the idea of having like the prompt kind of like use the epilogue system. Maybe it'll be like 20 seconds or 30 seconds after the epilogue. Oh, Okay, so I've heard reference to the FIFA scandal. I still have no clue what the scandal actually is. I just heard that, like, there was a scandal and that, like, like stuff went down. I don't know. That's all I know. All right. Yeah. Okay. So one thing that's like not great, or like, so one thing that's a little weird is that so this system is kind of at odds with like quest chains, right? Because yeah, the way quest chains are set up, um, the way quest chains are set up, you can't really put like another event in between them, or like it doesn't really make sense to put another event in between them. And so, oh no, you know what? Actually, this is probably fine because hypothetically, like if players are interested in like this mode of participation, like this mode of participation will probably become like self-sustaining, right? Because like okay, so I was thinking like at first I was thinking like it would alternate, like this would only happen after every other event, but no, I'm thinking like this will probably happen after literally every event, which is to say this will like a guest GM can follow another guest GM. I mean, in extreme circumstances, a guest GM, like if despite their own damper value, they get called, like they can still bid and win again for their spot as guest GM, then they, a guest GM could like, yeah. What is? All right. Uh, okay. Sorry. Just getting distracted. Uh, uh, I forget what I was talking about. Oh yeah, self-sustaining. Yeah, right. So I think quest chains will still be okay, because if players are like enthusiastic about this, like if the guest GMing, like goes buoyant and people are like are opting in consistently, then we probably don't even have to worry about Trusty Bard really even actually acting as GM. Like we'll probably like go into like a sustained loop of like guest GMs, right? Or if not, then occasionally like a quest chain could get interrupted by a guest GM, but if we're playing prescripted events anyways, that's probably an indication that like people are feeling chill and don't necessarily want to act as guest GM, and so we either will or won't complete quest chains independently. And yeah, I mean it'll be something else to factor in. Well, so like for example, vignettes is this thing that's been on the backlog for a while. I was actually thinking, so vignetting, for me, what this meant to me was that, so like so an example of like what I picture as a vignette is the Betrayal quest line. The Betrayal quest line is always 3 quests long. It starts with a single quest that branches into 3 separate paths, and those 3 separate paths can resolve in like different ways. Like they each it's basically a quest line, but all told, that quest chain is always exactly 3 quests long. And I was thinking of like kind of setting up something like that as like the norm. I was actually thinking of like converting it so that like when Trusty Bard acts as GM, like instead of having so many spontaneous like one-off events, that it would actually be more typical that like quest chains would occur with regularity. Like they like that Trusty Bard would basically like work not exclusively but like predominantly in quest chains. This changes that notion. So actually I think like vignetting, I'm probably going to put it in limbo, because I could actually outright delete it, because this new system I think actually like would disincentivize me from I'm going to stack to help shift the balance, because if the way it was just like I try not to interfere with events, but the way it was a second ago, the whole event would have just failed outright. And hey, now that other people have changed their vote, then stack is like super winning. Okay, yeah, that's what the bronze star means. That like the bronze star means that the event is going to fail, basically. But here's an indicator to let you know like how the event could possibly succeed. So I try not to interfere. Like I try not to like throw my weight around. But yeah, in some situations I will do that. So like if I feel like I can upgrade a silver to a gold, or if I feel like I can upgrade a bronze to a silver, then okay. Anyways, cool. I mean, not cool, just like I just was. Let's transition back. Let's segue back to actually getting work done. Again, I don't feel like I tend not to. I don't know. I don't always feel like I'm making a ton of progress, but based binary. I don't know what that means. Oh, biased. Oh yeah, sorry. Okay. I was tempted to show off the system that we put in yesterday. Hey, KSCom, congrats on leveling up. Yeah, all right. When I'm like, if I spend too much time talking, like it usually means that I'm like basically doing design work. But it doesn't always give the same feeling as like actually getting stuff done. So I have a craving to like actually accomplish stuff, like actually make material progress here. So let's do that. Let's make it. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so away mode, I'm not even going to worry about away mode. Because if away mode is on, then like this is just completely incompatible and discrepant. And so like away mode is going to be like it's going to be an either or sort of thing. I'm not going to put any like special programming in to like deactivate it during away mode. But just by the nature of away mode will always usurp this opportunity. So I'm not going to like do anything weird about like countermanding that. Like I'm not going to make it so that like this because like okay, so away mode means that events happen every minute, but I don't think a minute is like necessarily long enough for like the span that I would want like players to be able to opt in to be guest GM. So like the idea of like having this active during away mode basically just means that like away mode in that context basically means like Trusty Bard gets just like really demanding and like yells at people like faster, 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 and I don't want that. I don't like away mode is like this. It's its own weird thing that like I don't know. Like maybe I'll want to revisit that and like change what away mode means at some point, because like especially if guest GMing like if spontaneous guest GMing like really flourishes, like I mean hypothetically, like I mean the more I think about it, like this could basically redefine like how the game is played, like at a very fundamental level. Because like Trusty Bard is like the GM at this point. Like I'm hypothetically I'm the GM, but like because of how apathetic I tend to be about it, and like Trusty Bard is effectively the GM right now, and like this could change that completely, which I find it so terribly exciting. Right, I think that's probably why I want to get like real work done. Okay, I'll stop talking. Or no, I mean I won't stop talking, but I'll start doing things while I talk. Right, so for now, so yeah, so radically changing away mode is I'll probably put that in the backlog. I'll just put it like verbatim. Radically change away mode. Maybe I'll remember what that means, or maybe that'll just be a funny joke that I play on myself. Okay, so epilogue scheduling. Let's look at where we schedule the epilogue, because we'll want to use basically the same timing window. It'll basically like whatever we're using as the epilogue value, which I think actually we're calculating the epilogue value based on the event timing schedule. So similarly, we'll schedule these to occur. Like, there's not always an epilogue, so it won't literally happen 30 seconds after the epilogue, but it'll happen 30 seconds after when the epilogue would have occurred. And I might even, like, if I want this to happen exactly at the halftime, I might pull forward the epilogue schedule a little bit. I might make it so that the epilogues actually happen 30 seconds earlier than they do currently. Anyways, I'm not even caffeinated anymore. Like, the caffeine has left my system, and I was worried that I was gonna like crash when that happened. And I definitely don't feel as like hyperactive anymore. But like, I think one of the hallmarks of like like a good direction. I'm not gonna say like the right direction or like like brilliant like game development or whatever. But like I think like I think it's unequivocally a good sign when you feel that way about something. It doesn't necessarily mean that like yeah, I'm not trying to sound like immodest. I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm such a genius, but